Alright guys, so today we're going to learn about how to make a custom brush. Anything in Photoshop, any sort of image can become a brush. So we're going to go ahead and first start with a new piece of paper. So grab yourself a new piece of paper, File New, and I'm going to go to Print. I'm just going to get a letter size piece of paper, and I'm going to call this my custom brush sampler. And I'll hit Create. And right off the bat, I'll go ahead and get some color on here as well. So I'm going to go to my yin yang and solid color, and I'll just get something so that way I have some sort of background color. Alright, and now I'm ready to find some images to make into a custom brush. So just a quick review. The brush tool is B on the keyboard. B is the shortcut for the brush. So right here you can see it says B, and you can paint with the brush. Right now, it's not letting me paint. That's because I have this color fill layer here. So I'm going to make a new layer. So I'm going to hit the plus icon and make a new layer. And now I can use my brush. Okay, and I actually, whoop, you're seeing that I already made a custom brush. But when I first open up my brushes, there's all these different menus right here. So there's some general brushes. I think we've used the soft and the hard before, right? There's also some really cool dry media brushes. So take a look, take some time and take a look, see what these brushes do. The brackets on your keyboard are going to allow you to change the size. So I'm making, right bracket makes it bigger, left bracket makes it smaller. So you can see I can paint with this brush. Okay, so this is kind of like a fuzzy brush here in Photoshop, and I like having this on its own layer so I can delete it when I want to. Okay, so first play around. You know, see what's already here. See the kind of brushes. You can make them bigger. Again, there we go. So I can make my brush bigger. I can make it smaller. I can also make straight lines with my brush by holding the Shift key. So if I hold the Shift key, I can make perfectly straight lines. So I click once, hold Shift, and I click again, and I will make a perfectly straight line. So you can see right here, I'm making a perfectly straight line. Not because I'm really good at drawing with my mouse, but more because I'm holding Shift. Alright, I'm going to, again, go ahead and delete that. Because we're going to make our own brushes. Okay, and people pay a lot of money. They download these brush packs. We can make our own brushes. So, first thing you need is an image. So, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to first get maybe a splatter. Because maybe I want to put some kind of grit in my image. So anything like this, and we're actually going to be making our own splatters and things like that, but for now I'm just going to grab this one from the internet. Okay, and let's see, this is taking a moment to load. There we go. Alright, this is a PNG, so I'm actually going to download this, but oftentimes you can also just copy and paste. So I'm going to right click and say Save Image As. And I'll just put this here on my desktop. This is just a temporary file. Oh, no, splatter 2. There we go. Alright, so I've got a splatter. Now in Photoshop, I'm going to go ahead and open my splatter. Alright, that I just downloaded. Okay, my splatter's right here. And I want to take this texture and I want to turn it into a brush. So what I have to do, super easy. I'm just going to hit Edit, Define, Brush, Preset, right here. Alright, and when I do that, it automatically just transforms into a little brush. Alright, and so now, let me go ahead and create a new layer. And, oop, there I am, and I can draw. Ooh, I'm noticing that this is kind of like something's happening here. So when you're making a brush, you really need a black and white image. And it's hard to see on the projector, but on the video you'll be able to see I have this kind of like gray border. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that, and I'm going to remake this brush. This brush, this white here must not be pure white. It must be like slightly gray. So I'm going to make it pure white. I'm going to add here some brightness contrast. I'm just going to bump up the brightness, bump up the contrast. And then I'm going to flatten this because right now I can't make the brightness contrast into a brush. I need to right click flatten. And now let's try making this into a brush again. Edit, define brush preset, Let's see if this one works a little bit better. Oops. All right, and there we go. That one works a little bit better. I'm not getting that weird gray. So if you're ever getting too much gray in your brush, it's probably because you have, you need to dial up your brightness contrast. All right, and then now I have this cool brush, kind of like splattering, and I can, as you can see, make a pretty cool texture background, okay, with this little thing. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and make a new layer, and let's make a new brush. So I did my splatter. I'm gonna go ahead and try and do just like a basic clip art. So there's this really great website, clip art, etc. For some reason, it wasn't loading for me yesterday. Oh, awesome, it's working today. All right, so clip art, etc. I'm gonna post this on the assignment for you. There are so many cool things in here to make brushes out of. So I'm gonna try an animal. Maybe I want a bird brush. All right, let me find myself a bird. This one looks great. Oh, there's like more menus. There's so many things here. All right, I'm gonna do the blue jay. All right, so I've got this image. This image looks like pure black and white. I probably don't need to Photoshop it. We'll see. And this is gonna be a JPEG. I already know this website. I'm just gonna right click and say copy image. So you can save an image and open it. If it's a PNG, you should save it and open it. If it's a JPEG, you can just copy paste. So file new. I'm just gonna hit create. I don't need to change any of the settings. Photoshop already knows exactly what size. The last thing is that I copied and pasted. Paste that on, and this, I'm ready to make this into a brush. Edit, and define brush preset. And this is my bird brush. And you can see, there we go. Now I have created this little bird brush. I'm gonna delete this and I'm gonna change the color. And you know what, I'm actually gonna maybe turn down my splatter. And so we can see this bird a little bit better. And maybe I'll get a different color. Maybe I'll go for like a navy blue or something. All right, and I can, again with my brackets, I'm making the brush bigger. And then I can also make my brush smaller. So I've made a brush with this bird, and you can see how you can like really quick make some backgrounds or some cool patterns, etc. All right, I'll do another image. So there's my bird. And if I wanted to get back to my splatter, drop down here, and you can see now my bird is stored right there. And there's my splatter that I made too. So let's say maybe I want some more splatter on my artwork. I'll make a new piece of paper, or I'm sorry, new layer. I'll get a new color. Maybe I want to get some green on here. Okay, and maybe I want a few splats around. Oh, I don't like that green. I'll just delete that layer. Let me go for something. Maybe I want like a, I don't know, maybe a different color blue. I'll do white or something. There we go. I like that a little bit better. All right, so I can get back to that brush. And oh, maybe I want some more birds, but maybe a different color. So new layer, I can drop down, and there's my bird brush. I can go back to my bird brush. I can change my color. Maybe I want to do a few light birds. And there we go. Here's a few of these birds. It's a little bit too light. Let me go for maybe just like a completely different color. Let's make some purple birds on here. There we go, etc. Okay, so you can see that I can still access those that I've made. So you can do images. You can do like splatter things. I'm also going to do text. You can create a text brush. So to do text, there's just like one more extra step. I'm going to say File New. I'm going to make myself a little thing, maybe 2 inches by 2 inches. Say Create. So I've just got a little canvas here. And I'm going to go ahead and get a text box. So I'm going to go to T, my T tool. Make sure you're using black when you make your brush. You want to have black. All right, and I already have this font. I already made one. Here, I'll do my first name, Allison. And I'll make this a little bit smaller so I can fit there. All right, so you can make a brush with text as well. I'll do Miss Dreon. There we go. All right, and so I'm ready to make this into a brush. Edit, define brush preset, and there we go. There's my name brush. All right, and I can go back to my sampler and let me get a new color. I'll make a new layer. Let's see, maybe I'll do, I don't know, a red for my name. And you can see now my name right here is a brush. And I can make that smaller, and I can make that bigger, etc. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and delete that. So maybe I'm gonna go back and change this. I'm gonna write bird. And I'll make this into a brush. Edit, define brush preset. You can, by the way, just a reminder to change your text, double click the T, and right here is the drop down for all these different font types. So maybe I want to do bird with this font. There we go, I like that. Or maybe I want to write lovebird or birds of a feather. Okay, so you know, maybe this is what I want. I need to space this out a little bit. I'm gonna go to this little thing and I'm gonna space this just a little bit more. All right, I like that. And maybe I want to turn this into my brush. Edit, define brush preset. All right, and I can go back here and you can see now this is a brush. So super easy to make these brushes. Text, images, I'll show some more with images as well. So let me go ahead and get another image. So that clipart, etc. website, you must use that for this project. You got to make some sort of brush using clipart, etc. All right, let's see what else there is. Maybe some plants. Let's see. This website is just full of so many awesome clipart. Ooh, I like this algae brush. That's probably cool. Maybe one of these flower things. I don't want to spend too much time looking for images. Right click, copy image, and file, new, create, paste it in, and edit. Oops, define brush preset, there it is. And this is my flower. You don't have to give it a name, but I think it makes it easier to keep track when you go, if you want to go back later. All right, so I don't really like that text. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to make a new layer, and here are my flowers. All right, so today we're going to practice just creating some brushes. So use images. Again, I'll put the website up for clipart, etc. So try some different images, see what you can do, practice playing with the size of your brush. Again, you're just holding that, the bracket keys, the left bracket makes it smaller, the right bracket makes it bigger. Okay, and just try and make something interesting with some custom brushes. So that is your task for today. And I will post this video for you here in just a moment.